This is about driving platform adoption, which is absolutely critical, not just for developers, admins, and architects, but for BAs, BPCs, platform owners, CIO, everywhere. This is big. So I'm going to stop talking now and turn it over to our amazing guests who are also fellow certified master architects. So you have three on the line here today. So go ahead and take it away. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I'm Kasthuri, a certified master architect with ServiceNow, and I'm proud to be the first to earn this distinction. My journey began with Aspen release, the first release of ServiceNow, and since then, I've got a privilege working across all 26 releases, starting from A to Z. As a platform architect, I serve as a trusted advisor, strategic partner in digital transformation. I help my customers build the right strategy, staying close to out of box capabilities, make sure I safeguard the platform health, guide them with architecture principles, and most important, help them drive product adoption. And with me, I have Bhavani.
Hey, hi everyone. It's a pleasure to be here with you all today. I'm Bhavani, working as a ServiceNow senior architect in Virtusa. My ServiceNow journey began when the platform was still in its early stages, and I have had the privilege of growing alongside with it. While Kasturi and I started this journey together, our experiences allowed us to bring complementary perspectives to the table. What drives me as a master architect is that the connection between people, process, and technology. I focus on designing architecture that are scalable, intuitive, and built for long term success. Together, Kasturi and I bring different strengths to the table, but what unites us is that a deep understanding of the ServiceNow platform and a clear vision of how to use it. Today, we are excited to share how thoughtful architecture and purposeful adoption can turn ServiceNow into a true engine of transformation. Before we dive into the session, let me share you a personal story. I have been in this IT industry for over 17 years. Like many of us, I have also used my bank's mobile app for ages. It was my part of my routine, that is checking balances, transfer funds, payables. It was quick, convenient, and honestly, I never explored beyond the basics. One day, I got a call from my relationship manager. She said, Bhavani, do you know our app is now AI powered? You'd be able to track your investments, get personalized insights, and even use a chatbot to solve the problems. You don't need to visit the branch or you don't need to call the call center in order to handle your queries. I was just surprised. I was past. I just asked AA Power. Out of curiosity, I just opened the app and what saw was very impressive. It had whatever she said, it was available there. That those features were not new. They were available in the app for months, but I just did not know that it existed. That instance completely changed how I think about product rollouts. Now, I don't just focus only on the launch. I ask deeper questions like, are users aware of what is possible? Are they engaged with the experience? Are we actively guiding them towards the value? That experience literally taught me a powerful lesson, that is, adoption is not automatic, it's intentional. And that's exactly what we are here to explore today. So let's take a look at our agenda. We will start by exploring why adoption is the key to unlocking real value. We will also share our implementation experience where the rollout was technically successful, but the impact came once adoption was truly addressed. Next, we will dive into the practical strategies which will drive adoption, which will make adoption scalable and sustainable. Next comes the organization change management, OCM, and governance. These are not just the frameworks, they are the levers which helps the team move from awareness to engagement. Towards the end, we will share actionable insights which you can apply right away, whether you're planning for a rollout or trying to boost engagement post launch. And of course, we will leave time for your questions, reflection, and your shared experience. Finally, we have set aside 15 minutes for Q&A. So please, if you have any questions during the session, drop them into the Q&A as Alan mentioned before. We will try to answer them as they come in, and we will also revisit them during the discussion at the end. We want this session to be interactive and valuable for you. Kasturi, as you have worked on so many opportunities, can you share one experience which really stood out for you as why adoption is such a key part of the success?
Bhavani, well, thank you. Your point about the mobile banking truly resonates with me as well. If customers are not made aware of the features, and unless we proactively tell them, they don't use it. So let me talk about my implementation journey. with one of my customer. So here is a story of Mark and his team effort in implementing virtual agent. They had strict timelines, very limited resources, but they still finished the implementation on time. The bot was trained with handful of intents, just enough to get started. Go lives, cake cutting, celebrations, all done well. The team that they were looking for faster resolution, incident deflections, and modern experience for employees, all business outcomes were clear. But the results doesn't seem to align with the outcomes. You know why? Mark had Alina patiently listened to what Mark had to say. So users typed in questions. The bot replied with, I don't understand. Not once, not twice, but almost every time the bot was broken. It was it was not sure about the language of the users. And once, as a user, if I don't find results, I don't see that as helpful and I'm not going to trust it again. So that is when adoption start cracking. And they also complained about, what it is easy for me to call the service desk than to, wait for this bot to respond because it was seamless and in fact inefficient. So how do we move from this is not just one story. It is a pattern which we have seen across the industry, across the geography. And it points to just one truth. Launching a virtual agent is not just a finish line, it's a starting point. So that is what I want to talk you about and take you to the next step. Let's look into the sequential steps that you can plan if in case you're planning for virtual agent implementation. So think of it as like planting a seeds. Does it become a forest overnight? No, isn't it? You need momentum. Likewise, the first step is to identify the right use cases, not just what technically possible and easy, but what is painfully manual today can become or bring in a lot of automation and valuable insights tomorrow. How do we do that? ServiceNow offers a lot of built-in tools that you can use it right away. Number one, process mining. Let's say if your IT is flooded with a lot of issues like, I need software access, problem with Outlook, system things, there is a slowness in the system. You don't know how and what to automate. So that is where the process mining helps you with a strong foundation. This is going to help you with, analyzing the real user behavior across the system, maps out the step-by-step process, highlights the bottleneck, and of course, helps us understand what are those repeated steps or tasks that is going to take away the agent time. And just like that, you can build a solid use case for automation. And other options like predictive intelligence clustering option, they will help you spot the friction points and automation opportunities. Virtual agent topic recommendations, it will help you show the topics based on the real user behavior, and that can be the ready to use automation topics. You start with out of box topics. These are tried and tested. That's definitely will give you a solid foundation and help you with quick wins. Remember the marks issue that we spoke about? That the request keeps landing in the live agent queue. Do you know why? It's not because the bot is not trained enough. It's because it is not trained with enough of the keywords or the utterances. Some users might say, my Outlook is not working. Some might say, I'm not able to send an email. Some might say, my office application stopped working. Without all these well-defined intents, the bots cannot route directly. And that is where you can make use of NLU workbench feature, train your intents, and also test it using that. So it's not always about perfection. It's about the confidence. And by training this multiple times and then reviewing it is going to bring you that confidence. We want our bot to make sure that it understands the natural language, not just the keyword. So I wish if Mark and team has done this very simple step, the results would have been very different. And you don't worry. Let's say even if you have missed it now, start using NLU Workbench because it's going to help you keep improving. One other key step that most of my customers or many of the teams overlook is defining success. Here I have defined some sample metrics, but you should be clear about what good looks like, what success look like. Is it fewer tickets, faster resolution, high self-service, or whatever it matches your organization? Because if you don't start measuring from the beginning, I'm sure you will not be able to improve. And as I said, these are the sample metrics, but this is not the entire list. Use Now Create to find out, or it is definitely what your organization should measure. And once your bot is live, don't just keep quiet. Please start promoting. We have enough content to cover about OCM in the end, but make sure that you're using every other channel, be it your intranet or email or your team findings. Make sure you're advertising it enough. And you also identify change champions who are going to be your internal influencers that can help you drive adoption. So, with all that foundation step, you have planted the seeds, your plant started growing. That is when you broaden the adoption and start adding intelligence to it. Now, let me tell you, if you tell your managers that, you know what, you're going to approve your request in onboarding request in one click, right from your mobile or from your Teams, no need to log into ServiceNow. You can check your status all at one place in the messaging app that you're using. Isn't that interesting? Does it will definitely make them feel happy, right? So that's how you start introducing uh, simple, high impact features that can actually help your employees start using it. So it's not about convenience, it's about making their life easy. And one other thing I think what we have observed is that most of the users focus only on IT because the objective is to reduce the incidents. But please don't stop there. Expand your topics across the functions, be it HR or facilities or finance. Let me tell you why it is important. Think of a new onboarded employee who has joined the organization. That person is going not just going to talk about or check for the IT status or the laptop status. They're going to ask questions like, I need a chair or I need a table. That is a facilities request, or I need help in reimbursement or some help in payroll. That's a HR. So unless a bot can handle all in one place and they find it useful, that is when they will start, or it comes as a complete package. That is when they start following or using the bot. So, like I said, start introducing the AI capabilities and make sure that you plan for adoption. So now, with all these basic steps that I have mentioned, you have started building adoption. Now is the time to grow and automate. With that, you're not just growing, and it starts showing results. Start with automation. Start using Integration Hub, Flow Designer that can connect to systems, trigger action, and eliminate manual steps. Let's say a new employee joins in and says, I need access to SharePoint. A virtual agent can automatically trigger a Flow Designer that will check the eligibility, whether the employee is eligible for this SharePoint access, creates a request, sends for approval, and without any manual steps and agent involvement, the request can be fulfilled. So these are simple wins that can transform your chatbot to a smart assistant. And we will be continuing to talk about OCM and governance. They are not optional. They are the foundation. They are the critical success factors that's important for transformation and foundation. And they are going to turn your good ideas to lasting success and bring your enterprise-wide adoption. So this is my success story about virtual agent Bhavani. Do you have any other stories to add on? Again, these are the value metrics that you can use, the analytics that you can use to make sure that you're measuring the virtual agent deflection as well. But this is how you don't just adopt, but you also measure that. Uh, Anything else, Bhavani, that you want to add on?
Yes, Kasturi. Thank you for this valuable insight, Kasturi. I would like to add one more point, that is bringing the personalized branding into the virtual agent, which will definitely elevate the user experience. We have seen this works well with other customers where a tailored look and feel, right, make the virtual agent feel more familiar and it would be engaging. Most importantly, it also helped the employees feel like it was their own, which naturally increased the acceptance. Is it right, Kasturi?
That is absolutely right. I have also seen most of my customers asking for that branding and even mobile publishing options where they can use their own logo. Those that I completely agree with that. I agree that only when they start accept, the adoption journey starts.
Yes, that reminds me of another challenge which I have faced during the service operation workspace rollout. Like many users were resistant to move away from the legacy UI simply because they were comfortable with it. Okay, so let me share how we have approached that. So we have a team of service professionals. Let's call them Maya, Arjun, and Priya. They are very sharp, experienced, and deeply committed to delivering great service. But every day they face a familiar struggle. Maya says that she is very comfortable with a classic UI. She does not want to move to service operation workspace. Arjun grumbles that switching between multiple tools slows his productivity down. Priya also admits that we don't see clear value in using service operation workspace. And collectively, they wonder we don't fully understand the new features and benefits. These are not just the complaints, they are the signals. Signals that the transition to a new workplace is not just about the technology, it's about mindset, clarity, and trust. So, how do we address those concerns? The answer is with a clean, clear, phased, and adoption strategy. So what we did is that we began with a focused rollout. The first step, what we did was that enabling the service operation workspace for the L1 service desk, because that's where most tickets comes in, and it's the easiest place to show quick improvements. We focus on incident management and basic workspace view. This helps the agent reduce tool switching and work more smoothly. We also created role specific layouts that's for the different personas like ITL user, change managers, and service desk agent. This made their workspace match their job. And it also addressed the common question like, why should I need to switch if the classic UI works fine? Works fine. We also trained the agent using real life scenarios so that they could learn by doing, not just reading. We have also guided users to use the head center in service operation workspace, which has guides, which has FAQs and step-by-step instruction. For example, it also shows how to create filters in a simple way. It's a one-stop place for learning and support. From from day one, we have tracked key metrics like MTTR, mean time to resolution, first call resolution, and agent satisfaction. This gave us proof that adoption was working and helped to build trust with frontline teams. Phase two, like once the basics were working well, we expanded. We started adding major incident, change, and problem management teams to the same workspace. This helped different teams work together more closely. We have also introduced smart features like GenAI search, knowledge recommendations, and agent assist. When an agent opens a record, agent assist looks at the details and shows helpful information like what could be the possible solutions and what are the related issues and the useful articles. These features help the agents to see value which they had not noticed it before. To make the teamwork easier, we added the chat ops tools like Microsoft Teams and Slack. Agents could talk to the teammates instantly without switching apps. That solves the problem of too many tools. We also gave managers role-based dashboards, which helps them to track risk, backlogs, and SLA breaches of their teams. We also improve the health center by giving deeper guides and links to KB articles, which helps the agents to feel confident as they used to work on advanced features. Once adoption was strong, we added advanced capabilities. We automated handovers, balanced workloads, and predicted SLA breaches, which turns service operation workspace into a smart command center. We have also added features like agent affinity, skill-based routing, so that agents got tasks that match to their strength. This exactly reduced their burnout and improved their performance. We have also introduced a Now Assist, a GenAI-powered productivity, which works inside the agent's workflow. It creates smart summaries of long incident histories. It also suggests the next best actions. It auto captures the notes from the conversation. This actually saves times and helps agents to stay focused on solving problems. From the first stage till now, like we also set up the feedback loops, which helps to improve the user input, and we track the value and business results using dashboard, proving that service operation workspace is not just a new UI, it's a real productivity upgrade. Every concern we heard about the ease of use, value, and support was valid. By using a phase strategy, we did not just launch a tool, we built trust. Service operation workspace was not adopted because it was forced initially. It was adopted because it made sense. With all these AI powered features available in the service operation workspace, and with the right training and the support, users are much more likely to accept and embrace a new way of working. Kasturi, Have you had a similar experience where a feature only made sense after you started using it?
Absolutely, Bhavani. I completely agree with you. In fact, workspaces are the direction that ServiceNow is moving towards. And I have also had a similar experience. Whatever you spoke about, Help Center or the feedbacks, everything that is, going to make the agent life easier, it's something that we should strongly recommend and the organization should adopt. But one thing that I've realized, Bhavani, with the conversation that you have been doing is whether it is Service Operations Workspace or Virtual Agent or any of the workflows, be it IT or employee, none of it truly delivers value without one essential ingredient, which is knowledge. It's not just a feature, it's a foundation. Let's explore how unlocking knowledge transforms every experience. Let me quickly check with you. You can make use of the chat window as well. Most of you have worked with customers that have tons of knowledge articles in the system, isn't it? But still, users still complain, or sometimes we come back and say, I don't find it helpful. Why do you think it is a reason people say that? Even in the earlier example that we had with virtual agent, Mark had the similar concern or his team had a similar concern. I don't find it useful. Any reason that anybody want to call out? Do you know why knowledge article starts losing value? Any comments from anyone?
Yeah, yes, Kasturi. The customers that they would generally say that knowledge articles, like from their users, that they'll say, like from the agents, that the knowledge articles are too technical.
That's right, Bhavani, and I agree with you, Jonathan, as well. It is outdated information. It's unreliable. All right, all answers. It's not updating frequently. Thank you, Aruna, for bringing that up. We are going to cover that. So all these are going to uh, reason why the knowledge articles does not add any value. Uh, so here is the good news. We can fix this. And that is what we are going to talk about. It takes a lot of manual effort. Not it doesn't take a lot of effort. Just a smart phased approach can make knowledge article truly usable. So building a knowledge base is, if I have to take, it's like a building public library. First, set up a building, then bring relevant books, add labels. You train the librarians, add a navigation for the public to reach. Then, most important, you maintain the log and get feedback. Recently I visited a public library and they had AI, and the moment I typed the genre, it recommended me the books. You know what? That's how you evolve. ServiceNow knowledge is no different from that. Just like a library, the knowledge articles work only when it is organized, accessible, and maintained. Otherwise, it's just a building with pile of forgotten books. One of my customer asked, I'm going to migrate from my legacy to ServiceNow. Why don't I import everything into the system? Uh, why do we need? I asked him, why do we need article, something like how to install a Windows 7? It's outdated, right? As an architects, we need to ask right questions to make sure that the knowledge base is kept clean and useful. A good knowledge base is not just about having the right content. It's about structure, access, and usability. You start classifying the content into clear categories, be it HR, risk, IT, or finance. Define who can access what. Someone which is categorized in the risk category should not be visible to IT, isn't it? So make sure that you define user criteria and use templates like FAQ, how to make sure that you have a consistent way of approach that is easy to read and consume. Think of it as a library. Do you add just books? You audit time and again so that you can track usage and collective feedback, isn't it? Likewise, you start auditing the top used articles and retire articles that are outdated. Uh, you merge the duplicates and fix what is broken. Uh, where can you find all these? There are out of box analytics and dashboard, which is available. Knowledge analytics is one such go to place. So once the quality is in place, publish across channels, be it virtual agent. Bhavani spoke enough about having the help or the agent assist and the linking of knowledge articles that is going to be useful in ServiceNow. So that is going to improve your IT and your agents' work, and the productivity is going to be increased. And most important, you measure early. Turn the analytics from day one. What gets measured is always get improved. No big budget, no long timeline, very simple steps is going to create a real impact. Let me also share some statistics with you. One of my customer just followed the simple steps that I said, and that has improved their incident deflection or reduction of tickets by 18% in just 3 months. Isn't that an interesting statistics? So now we have built the foundation. Now that the foundation is in place, it's time to scale for adoption. And it starts with feedback. I think Aruna and someone else in the chat also spoke about it's not updating frequently. I'm going to answer that for you. One of the powerful tool that we have in the system is called as Article Quality Index, AQI. It helps in maintaining consistent quality across the articles that are written by different authors. As a knowledge admin, I can create checklist, true or false, give weightage to the articles, and the reviewers who are reviewing it can assess the articles, and then the system will calculate the score. So that defines a quality score. If anything that is not as per quality, the knowledge manager can go and review it. So that's how you maintain high standards. And next is simply, simplify the by authoring the knowledge blocks. Let's say as an HR, I want to publish a holiday calendar. And if I'm a customer, if I'm a company that is geographically placed, it is tough for me to publish or create knowledge articles for every location, isn't it? The dates may vary and the location also, it depends. So that is where knowledge block plays an important role and making sure that right content is accessible by right set of people. And remember, managing knowledge is not knowledge management job. People who just say that, knowledge is not updated. And one of my manufacturing customer, he came back to me and said, you know what, we have very less focus on IT. I have only one knowledge manager. How can that person manage the knowledge article across? So I suggested them it is not just knowledge manager's responsibility, it's even IT functions responsibility. You go ahead and train your agents and ask them to update the articles for any ticket resolutions or anything that they want to add on. For example, if your agent is solving the Wi-Fi issue and they know that they have added additional steps than what is in the knowledge article, they can very well update in the feedback, or they can also edit the knowledge article, update it, and send for approval. You also build feedback loops. Was this helpful? Is it something that you find it useful? And anything that someone says that step 3 in this article is not something that I understand or too technical to adopt. As a knowledge reviewer, you identify that gap and get it approved. So that is how you keep the content clear and useful. And don't forget external content connectors, because in recent days, few of the customers say we have been using Confluence or SharePoint. So the external content connectors in ServiceNow helps you manage seamlessly the external data sources like Confluence or Microsoft SharePoint. And when you're using AI search along with that, it gives a unified, secure, and intuitive search experience. The next this phase that we are talking about is going to help you in making your knowledge visible, usable, and inclusive. And that's where the adoption starts to scale. Now you have the foundation done. All knowledge articles are usable. Are we going to stop here? Not at all. Now we are going to make sure that it's proactive and self-sustaining. That's where the next stage starts. Has anyone heard about knowledge demand insights? Okay, so the knowledge demand insights are going to help you automatically detect gaps in the knowledge base. It shows you where the users are searching, but they're not finding answers. So you know exactly what articles to review and improve. Let's zoom in to the self-service analytics dashboard. So here in this dashboard, it shows you how users interact with the knowledge base. It does not have a lot of unsuccessful searches because I took this from my personal developer instance, but it helps you identify the deflection rates, unsuccessful searches, where the users search, but they don't get the results. So that is called as knowledge gap. So if you think the knowledge articles are not usable, which means the feedback loop is not enabled, or you don't have these good insights or the knowledge or the features to identify the knowledge gap and update it. It is the duty of knowledge managers to identify or use these insights and use these to improve your knowledge articles so that you turn these gaps into action. In case your customers are not using any of these dashboards, please go ahead and enable them with this. And these are highly recommended to start using it. Remember, Bhavani spoke about creating a knowledge article from Service Operations Workspace. It's very easy and simple with Gen AI, if you have Gen AI and Now Assist in place. If there are similar incidents, with just one click, it can create a knowledge article. And let's quickly see a demo of how to do that. So this is a pre-recorded video. You can see that the Service Operations Workspace, once the incident is permanently resolved, user is just clicking on the create knowledge option. They can use the Now Assist create feature. Okay, first they can also create the templates, be it a known error or knowledge. And then if there are predefined templates available, they can even use that. Uh, and then when you click on draft with Now Assist, ServiceNow automatically suggests if there are any similar incidents. You pull in those. That makes it easier for the agents to contribute to knowledge managers and keep the content up to date and relevant. Our goal is not just to manage the knowledge, but it is to unlock it. Here you can see the issue resolution links, and it also ties back to the incident. With just one click, you can just publish, and then you're ready to go. The knowledge manager can review, and then that is all it's required. So, Bhavani, this is the strategy that worked for me and for my customer. I'm interested to know, do you have any other strategies or approach that can help you drive adoption?
We have seen till now we have seen how real adoption challenges show up during the implementation. Many users were hesitant to leave the familiar classic UI. They did not immediately see the value of service operation workspace. And also when it comes to virtual agent or knowledge base, they're not sure how these features would help them in day-to-day work. These are not the technical issues. These are the signs which tells us adoption is not just about launching new tools. It's about helping people through change, building trust, and showing value in ways that matters to them. How do we address it? We did not use a one size fits all approach. Instead, we followed a phased strategy that will meet users where they are and guiding them forward step by step. Let me walk you through the key strategies that help us to drive real adoption. First, before building anything, we listen. When we launched Virtual Agent, we started with people, not just only technology. We asked what are the users struggling with, what questions come up often. Same with knowledge base. We made articles short, easy to search, and chatbot friendly. If users cannot find answers quickly, they won't be able to use it again. So we made sure that the virtual agent could show the right content fast. We identify the pain points, which will help us to know where to focus. ServiceNow gives us great tools like Flow Designer, Virtual Agent Designer, and AI Search. But adoption happens when we use them smartly. For example, in Service Operation Workspace, we used Flow Designer in order to automate approvals. That has actually saved time and build trust with users. Next, big rollouts can always feel overwhelming. So what we did is that we started small with one region. And in case of virtual agent, we did not have a rollout for all the regions. We just started with geo-based rollout. Same with these service operation workspace. We have started with only with the L1 service group. Quick wins will always help to build momentum and confidence. Training is not a one-time thing. It's a journey. We created role-based training for agents, managers, and end users. We have also used short videos, live demos, and even fun learning models. When users feel confident, they're more likely to engage. Adoption does not stop after launch. What we did in all our challenges when we were talking about, we were just setting up monthly reviews, looking at feedback loops, looking at the virtual agent transcript, knowledge-based rating. This helped us to improve quickly. Once users saw their feedback being used, and that will definitely help to build trust. People don't adopt features, they adopt results. So once the virtual agent has been launched, once, as Kasthuri rightly pointed out, once virtual agent has been launched and the resolution time dropped by 30%, we just highlighted those as a story. Stories definitely inspire others to try. Simplicity matters. So we have reduced the steps in the virtual agent, and we also made the service operation workspace form easy to use. So when things feel simple, users would start to trust the system. Finally, leadership makes a big difference. So when our executives started supporting virtual agent and knowledge base, adoption increased quickly. What we did is that we have tied our goals to the business outcomes like saving cost, resolving issues faster, and improving complaints. That made adoption a top priority. But leadership alone is not enough. To truly help teams change, we need structure and support, and that's where the OCM comes in. Before we look into the OCM, I would like to Alan to talk about the next level of adoption strategies.
Yeah, thank you. So just before even getting into this, I hope you all have paid attention to how they have talked about the phases, where you notice it's listed as do now, do next, and do later. Just wording your roadmap in that way has been an impactful way that I've seen with clients. Before,
Mhm.
you've seen the traditional way of saying crawl, walk, run, fly, and that kind of methodology. Saying it as do now, do next, do later changes up the response that you'll get from your stakeholders in an immense way. Meaning, if you're talking with a client or your organization and you're saying, "Hey, there's some stuff in this crawl column that we need to do," and you've already had the product for like 3 years, somebody's going to be upset, right? They're going to be like, "Why are we still crawling when we are literally had this thing for 3 years? We've paid all this money." So positioning it just from doing that to do now, do next, do later, that was a little hidden gem that they had in there that you may not have picked up on. But to talk about some next level tips, and on the last slide, it had a lot of amazing tips as well. These are things that are going to get you 2025, 2026 and beyond. Let's innovate. Let's get, crazy here with some of this stuff. So some of these are pretty basic, right? So one of it is a countdown clock. So we're talking the simplest thing of just saying, "Hey, here's a countdown clock. We've got 3 days till launch," and just letting people know that it's coming. That is a big win and very easy to do in and of itself. In that second section here, you'll see one other point I'll pick out, which is around creating mini quests, right? So saying, "Hey, submit your one request, create your profile, explore the knowledge base," and creating kind of little knowledge, a little quests, achievements that they can get, right? Another one in another section here would be creating theme days. So that's where you can have like a hub day where everyone uses the new tool and leadership hosts live chat. So there's like a live chat where the leadership's on it and people are using it, and it's kind of like a office hours day where people are doing that, right? Just giving ideas. Another one would be a peer tips campaign. So, like using another person who's using it and saying, "This is Jane in HR. She's showing us how to use the portal to speed up onboarding," and just giving those real world testimonials. That's a big one. Another tip would be to have a live leaderboard. So you're showing usage numbers in real time on people using the a tool, using the portal, whatever it might be during the first week. So that first week, you've got a live leaderboard of who's all using it and just kind of celebrating that. And for the last one, which kind of aligns with what the one of the last things Bhavani was talking about, is that recognition from leaders. So you have executive sponsorship, you have change management involved, but then recognition from leaders where they send out maybe personalized notes to people that have been early adopters on it. They ping the first people using it day one, day two, and they're like, "Wow, thank you so much for using it, and let us know your feedback." And getting that from leadership shows that recognition. So that's just some tips, and I'll pass it back to you guys.
Next, I was just talking about the strategies, and this is something the organizational change management, like the OCM, which is like behind the scenes engine that keeps everything running smoothly during a rollout. It's not just launching new tools; it's about helping people to use them, understand them, and feel confident in doing so. Uh, the what you're about to see here and what it looks like that when an organizational change management or OCM is done the right way, teams would be feeling energized. Everyone knows where they are headed, and things start moving with real purpose. This kind of change does not just happen, it should be planned, people focused, and built to last. That's exactly how we approach our journey with structure, intention, and focus on making adoption work for everyone. So, Kasthuri, like, is it something only OCM was one of the key pillars of successful adoption? Is it the only one you're saying?
Bhavani, and Alan, thanks for that. These are real insights that is absolutely required for anybody who is going through their transformation journey or adoption. Bhavani, OCM definitely is people driven, but there is other pillar for success, which is called as governance. So without OCM and governance, you're just launching tools. You're not driving the real change or adoption. OCM prepares the people for the shift, and governance keeps everything structured and consistent. Together, they turn and add a lot of value to the impact. No governance is like, I'm having multiple chefs preparing my favorite dish at the same time without any common recipe. They are going to add their own twist, they are going to add their flavor, ingredient, and what is the result? Some inconsistent outcome that lacks clarity, trust, and quality. Is it what we want our customers to be in? Not really. Having a good governance helps everybody take the right people, take the right decision at the right time. So let's break down what each governance board plays. Each governance board plays a distinct role in the transformation journey and adoption. Executive steering board sets the direction, they manage budget, resolve the escalation conflicts, and make sure that we have a right platform vision and strategic and also risks that they manage. Their decisions helps us in long-term success for the platform. Demand board makes sure that they keep everything aligned. They are the bridge between the exec steering committee and the technical governance board. They review the incoming platform demands, manage backlogs, and coordinate the project priorities across the team and make sure that everything is synchronized. Technical governance board safeguards the platform integrity, manage technical debts, review the customization, and make sure that we have a platform that is signed up for long-term sustainability. We're not going to go in detail about these three levels of governance. It's a really big topic. I can talk about it for almost an hour if it is. We're going to leave you with reference documents that you can take back as homeworks. But what we are going to do is review some use cases and see how this matches with this boats. Number one, urgent demand with customization. Your product owner is reaching out to you as an architect with an urgent request. You have evaluated, and then you know that it requires customization. Can anyone tell me which board has to review this? Okay, it is the technical governance board that you have to engage to make sure that you assess the risk, alignment, the data security and governance policies, and we call something called as golden rules. Golden rules are simple statements like I don't want customizations. I want my platform stay out of the box. Keep the data clean. Make sure that there is data governance. So these are simple rules that is going to ensure that everybody aligns to this. And it also aligns to the business outcome, which is set by the steering and the demand board. Next use case, AI demand with no visibility. Business users submit AI related ideas, but they don't know what is the status or when it will be fulfilled. So, what is the action that it has to be taken? We need to reach out to the demand board. They ensure that the transparent prioritization, stakeholder communication, and alignment with business goals are attained. They also make sure that they go back to the steering committee, make sure it is aligned with the business outcome. Do they have sponsorship? Not all AI ideas are feasible. Some may need executive sponsorship. Sometimes you need to work with technical governance for validation. So, this is how all three boards work hand in hand and make sure that you are taking the right decisions. Governance is all about taking the right decisions. Now, third use case. I'm sure this is simple, and I'm expecting some answers from the group also. Use case where you have innovation and there is a licensing impact. Process owners have conducted a design thinking workshop and they want to propose automation ideas for the design thinking workshop. And they have come up with an option that AI agents and now assist will be the solution. These are out of box solutions, but this requires licensing. Do you know which board that we need to reach out to? Oh, thank you, Vijay. Thank you so much. It goes to the executive steering board. You engage the executive steering board because it requires business outcomes, sponsorship, and also contracts if at all there is any need. So this is how all the three boards, technical governance, demand, and executive steering board, works hand in hand with a clear objective to define or drive transformation and adoption. A strong governance clears the path for adoption. So this is not an option but a mandate. If you have any of the customer that does not have all these three layers, or for not following the techniques that Alan and Bhavani pointed out, please take notes. Reach out to us if you need help, but make sure that you have it in place for a successful adoption journey. Before we close this session, we want to talk about interesting dashboards that we have. We earlier reviewed the self-analytics dashboard, and we touched based on something related to virtual analytics dashboard, because this is where without metrics, without these KPIs, there is no adoption, and without value, you cannot measure success. So you might ask, how do I know if people are actually using knowledge articles? That is when you go back to user review dashboard that is on right. So maybe because of this image, it's not clearly visible, but you can make a note of, or you can see how well the knowledge articles are being used, or how well the applications are being used. That will give you a clear picture of engagement or any application that is in place. I always recommend your owners to regularly check on these dashboards, because that will help you understand where your organization is heading to. There is something called as self-service analytics, which we also reviewed earlier. And the screenshot that you see here is the user experience analytics. These are just gold mines. Start using it. These are out of the box. These dashboards show how users interact with major applications. The one that Bhavani also spoke about on Service Operations Workspace, how many active users, how long they stay, are they using it? So that will give you insights to understand how well the usability metrics is defined for all these applications. And of course, as a homework, I would say please go back and explore these dashboards and analyze this data. Also, come back to us if you have any other additional dashboards or metrics that you found as useful, because improving adoption means optimizing user experience and managing your platform effectively. And these dashboards will definitely help you achieve that. Of course, feel free to comment when the recordings are available, and we are here to help. With that, we are going to leave you with three important takeaways from today's session. Three pillars that drive transformation, successful transformation and adoption. First, people. Without people, there is no adoption. Engage your stakeholders early, train them continuously, empower change champions. They are their, internal influencers who is going to help your momentum and culture shift within the organization. Number two, process. Governance and OCM are success enablers. Please don't avoid, or please don't do that. So they help you in defining clear goals, standardize your workflows, and make sure there is continuous feedback. So that keeps your platform aligned, scalable, responsive, and real user needs. Number three, technology. Innovation is your vision, automation is your path. Use out of box features, integrate systems smartly, and monitor performance to track impact. That will help you to save time, reduce cost, and deliver actual value. I hope these insights give you enough confidence to take back and talk to your customers and make sure that you are in your transformation journey for adoption. With that, we have another, 7-8 minutes where we would like to take any quick questions.
Yeah, so we've got just a few minutes left. There's been a couple that I've answered throughout, but let's kind of start with one. And I thought it was a really great question by Karthik. So he asked, any suggestions on how to strike the right balance where governance provides necessary control and oversight, but doesn't slow down or hinder the speed of delivery? And that's like a old as tale, oldest tale of time or whatever, right? Where you want to do governance, but then people overdo it, put all this red tape up, and then people view it as a hindrance and all that. Do you have any suggestions for those that are looking to kind of get governance stood up, but they don't want it slowing things down?
Well, that's about how many that you are involving in that. So, like I said, you involve right people at the right time. The recommended, we'll share the documents with you that's going to help you understand what are the key stakeholders that you need to involve in these three steps. A quick answer for that is please don't involve developers as the decision makers in technical governance board. You need to have architects, business leaders, process owners. So every board has a well-defined audience and then who will answer what. That is going to help you accelerate the implementation, definitely not slow down. In the next slide we have enough resources that we are going to share with you. Please refer to that and come back to us if there are additional questions.
Yeah, and just to kind of echo that, it starts slow, right? You don't have to have every board stood up with everybody meeting every month and getting crazy with it. Start very simply, very easy. And like was mentioned previously, those golden rules as an organization, if you set up your golden rules, that's going to be what everybody marches to and your drum beat. So that's kind of like, hey, for 2025, we are not purchasing another module. So don't ask about it. Anything that comes through, we're not doing it. So everything needs to stay aligned to the products that we have today as a golden rule, something to that effect, right? So that's just one. Another question, which they loved the analogies, they loved the valuable insights. So you guys have done an amazing job with the presentation, but they wanted to know, what is your top advice for overcoming common organizational hurdles such as data security, integrity, adoption? And this is about bringing in agentic AI, adopting agentic AI. How do you kind of get over maybe some of those common issues and that organizations are worried about in the beginning with data security, integrity, and that? Any suggestions there?
Number one, I would say that you prepare your organization for readiness. Make sure that agentic AI is not just unless you have the right data in place. Like one of my customers started their AI search without even configuring the basic AI search capabilities enabled. So these are quick checks that you can do. AI readiness to talk about whether your AI searches or related virtual agent topics are created. There is a good white paper that's available on data security, which can talk about what is the level of data that you can use, or what is the level of security that you can add on if in case you're using agentic AI. We can share that along with the presentation too.
Yeah, and absolutely. And just super quick on that for the person that asked and for those interested, it's hard to get them to adopt AI if you haven't purchased it, right? So it's like, well, the chicken before the egg kind of thing, right? So use some of the Now Learning or the ServiceNow University labs that are there and go in and roll in those, the agentic AI labs, and actually become familiar with it yourself and do a mock-up, kind of a proof of concept, a POC on, hey, this is a simulation of our ticket or a process that we have. This is what I'm seeing it looks like, and this is what value could most likely come out of it, to kind of break the ice a little bit and talk with them through that. The last question, which I know we're right on time, is how do you drive adoption without executive buy-in? And that's where like the executives aren't into it, they're not buying into it. That's where use free tools in the platform, like we kind of echoed today. What is already available today to get them to see some of the value that's there? It didn't cost them anything other than maybe a little bit of your time, but that's one way to do that. And we'll also provide, as there's mentioned here, we have a ton of resources that are available for you to check out. So be sure to do that. As we wrap up, just echoing again, the video for this will be made available in about 48 hours on our ServiceNow Developer YouTube channel. The deck will be made available in PDF format, and we'll make sure that some of the talking points that we really want to call out are placed on slides so that you can kind of refer to that in addition to the presentation. But again, thank you so much to Kasthuri and Bhavani for being here today, fellow certified master architects, still championing the platform for a long time. And for being on the platform for all 26 releases is pretty crazy. So I didn't even know that. So great job. But thank you all. And we'll see you on the next one. So thank you. Take care, everybody.
Okay. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks.
And for all those who are celebrating, happy Dashera, and feel free to add on any comments if you have. Thank you, Alan, for hosting us too.
Yeah.
Thank you, Alan. Thanks, everyone.
Bye,
Thank
everyone.
you. Thanks.